Hi everyone and welcome to a slightly different video for my channel today. The title suggests that my channel is not doing so great, and that is actually reality. We'll get into the numbers a little bit in a minute or two, but just at the moment, even though the title of this video says that my channel is slowly dying, rest assured, this is not a I'm not going to be doing YouTube anymore, thanks very much and bye. This is a I want to change that. I want to do something different, be something different on YouTube in the Football Manager community, and try and figure out how to move my channel in the opposite direction. But to do that, we kind of have to have a little bit of history of the channel itself. I started my channel about just over 2 years ago now, and the reason that I did it was due to health issues. I have a disability that stops me from having full-time employment, etc. I was at home quite a lot, on my own quite a bit because my wife goes out to work, and I was a bit bored and I wanted a project, and I'd spotted a couple of the bigger guys on YouTube doing Football Manager, the likes of Dr. Benji, and thought, well, I think I could do that, or something similar to that at least. I may not be as funny as him or as zany as some of the other people, but I've got a certain knowledge of football. I love the Football Manager game. I've been playing it pretty much since the very first version of Championship Manager, and I think I can communicate reasonably well. So why not give it a go? It will give me a project. It will give me focus to my day. It will give me something that I can sink my teeth into and try to be a little bit proud of doing in an otherwise lifestyle that's fairly chilled out, fairly plodding along, and really not having anything hugely consequential in it to do. So I started the YouTube channel, and it did all of those things. It gave me focus, it gave me purpose, it gave me something to be proud of. I was beginning to build something very, very slowly. The first year was really hard work. I got to the end of that first year and I'd only got 38 subscribers. Now, for those that have started in the last 8-9 months through the pandemic, a YouTube channel, a lot of them have grown a lot quicker than that. But that was my lot. I'd got 38 subscribers, the original 38, the OG 38 as we call them. And I'd amassed about 1,000 views on my channel. And that was it, about 81 hours of viewed content in the first year. It was if you're just looking at numbers, that would have been a complete slog really to get through, but I wasn't particularly bothered by numbers. I was just happy doing my project, getting some stuff out there, seeing it gradually build, and it was giving me, as I say, purpose and focus, a project, something to sink my teeth into. About a year ago, a lot of you will remember, Loki Doki put a video out called The Curious Case of the United City FM. I'd written some stuff on Twitter. I'd expressed some disappointment over some recent performances on my channel. He got wind of it, and rather than just chatting to me in the background about, maybe things I could look at and change, he decided to make a video about it and put it on his YouTube channel, which got thousands of people looking at it. And it was basically along the lines of, this is not bad content. Why is nobody watching it? Why is he doing it for 38 people? Go and give him a look. And they did. And there were some critiques there. You need to change this. You need to add a webcam, which I eventually did. You need to think about not doing that or doing that. Lots and lots of thoughts about it. But in the process, it gained me about 2,500 subscribers in about a 2 or 3 day period. And my channel just seemed to rocket a little bit forward, and it was just the most amazing evening. If you've heard me talk about it before, that Saturday evening when everything went nuts, I just did not know what to do with myself. It was incredible, and it left me with a real growth spurt. And for the next couple of months, there were thousands, and then if not hundreds of people watching quite a lot of what I did. And then from that point, it slowly started to turn into where we're at now, which is in a bit of a struggle. So what happened? So after that original surge of people coming and looking at the channel, some positivity, getting behind the content I was doing, I continued to make content. I think I continued to make better content, if I'm honest. The addition of the webcam, some slightly better equipment here and there helped the project a little bit. Over the last few months, I think I've got to grips a little bit with how to produce videos slightly better. There's some stuff I could still learn. I don't really consider myself to be a good editor at this point, but I'm doing as good as I can, and lots of stuff like that has improved. And I think just the content of my Let's Play series has been pretty good. The most recent one that I've mainly been doing is a sort of from hope to glory, as I've called it, with Truro City, taking them from tier 7 of English football, trying to get them all the way to the top. But during this period, and especially since the pandemic has struck, things have gone slightly awry for the channel. There's a number of reasons for that. We're in a much more saturated community now of Football Manager content creators. There's many more that decided to give it a go through the last year because they had not a lot else going on because of the pandemic, etc. And it changed the landscape quite considerably. You've also now got a very successful 5 or 6 guys at the top of the tree that are hoovering up views quite considerably because their product has been honed for 6 or 7 years and they're doing a really good job of it most of the time, and they're successful and people gravitate towards that. So the whole landscape of how you improve and how you get better and how you become successful as a Football Manager YouTuber has kind of changed somewhat in that last 8-9 months. And I feel like I've been slightly left behind, if I'm totally honest. If you look at my channel today, you'll see that I've got about just over 2,000 subscribers. So I've lost about 350, something like that, in the last 8-9 months. So in about the last 300 or so days, I've lost 300 or so subscribers. And so every day for the last 8-9 months, I have watched my subscriber count go down. I've watched my viewership go down to the point now where I sit with just over 2,000 subscribers, and somewhere between 20 and 40 people are watching anything that I put out, mostly. A few weeks ago, it was 50, 60, 70. But most recently, the last couple of weeks has dipped down again. And things have got to change, or I've got to stop, basically. If I'm only here just for my own self-worth now, then these things kind of don't matter a little bit. But the point that I would like to make now is kind of my thought processes on YouTube have changed a little bit. The simple reality of it being a project, something I can sink my teeth into, something I can be proud of, something I can build, something I can focus on, giving me purpose to my day. It's all still there, but it becomes quite difficult when you've gained a certain level of, for want of a better term, success, because I don't see it as that necessarily, because of the amount of people that came and started watching my content and viewing it, and commenting on it, and you know, all those kinds of good stuff. And for that to sort of just slowly wane away means that something has gone slightly awry. And recently I've heard a lot of people speaking in the Football Manager community about how you build your channel. And I've looked around the community a little bit as well. And there's some things that I'm not quite doing right. So we're going to have to kind of do them right if I want this channel to succeed, because my overriding thought now is that whilst I'm still happy putting my content out, I'm lying to myself now if I'm saying that I don't want it to be successful. I do. I want it to grow. I want people to be engaged in it. I want people to be entertained by it. I still want it to be the benefit it is to my existence and my daily life. But I do want it to succeed for my own self-worth, for my own self-ego, all sorts of other things. I want it to work, and I want it to be more successful than it currently is. And I just want to see it moving in kind of a growth direction, really. It doesn't matter where the growth kind of ends up. I don't have an end goal. I just want to see it for a little while at least go in the right direction. So I'd be lying to myself if I was saying that that didn't really enter my head, because it kind of does. So what are other people doing that I'm not doing, and what do I need to change? So primarily on YouTube, what I see as people's growth in their Football Manager YouTube channels are There's always an element, mostly there's an element of people putting let's play videos out. So a particular team, let's see how successful we can be, or let's see as a manager how successful we can be if we start at the bottom and try and get ourselves to the top. Those sorts of things. There's some short-term versions of that, there's some long-term versions of that, and I've tried to put all of those kinds of different options on my channel over the last 12 months, and I think I've done it reasonably well here and there. Some short-term stuff, some long-term stuff, but mostly let's play videos, because that's where I felt my my skill set lay, in that sense, in terms of how I saw myself being able to produce a YouTube channel. But the reality is, if you look around the community in the last few months, the people that have grown the most and done well in their YouTube channels is because they've done something different. They've found a niche within a niche, is the phrase that keeps getting bandied around. And I have yet to find my niche within a niche. Now, that within the Let's Play scenario, I thought it would be something like in my Truro save, for example, I elongated the videos a little bit, made them slightly longer, and we started to dive into the post-match analysis a little bit. But recently I've noticed that actually that's not what's getting me views, and it's actually turning people off, unfortunately. And so it's become, that's not my niche within my niche, and I thought it might be. I thought we might have a slightly different focus to the Let's Play series that people would appreciate, and some do, of course. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule, but mostly that hasn't really worked for me. And what you see of other people is they're doing short, snappy videos, 10 to 15 minutes of no more than that. But not many of them are succeeding purely on Let's Play videos. There are one or two, but not many. Most people are looking at Football Manager from a slightly different perspective and doing something slightly different with it. And that's what I have to incorporate into my channel. I will still be doing Let's Play videos, but they will be short-term ones. We're only going to be doing 1 to 3 seasons in length in terms of my Let's Plays, because that means that every sort of few weeks, every month or so, there's going to be a stopping point and a starting point for something new for other people to jump in on. So that's the first thing that is going to change about the channel, and that is why I have left the surround of my webcam here on the screen today as my Truro City surround for my webcam. And just to say that we've managed to get Truro City from tier 7 right the way up for, in theory, the next season we would play, into tier 3 of English football in about 6 or 7 seasons, which has been fantastic. But unfortunately, Truro City and From Hope to Glory now does not fit with the ethos that I have to move forward with the channel. So unfortunately, that means that from this point on, Truro City is actually not going to come back in the form it currently is at this moment in time. There is something we'll talk about in a little minute or two that might change that, but just for now, unfortunately, that's going to be it for Truro City. I've got a couple of PSG episodes that I can put out that I've recorded in the last few days before I made some decisions over the weekend about my channel. They will still come out this week to just round off season 2 for PSG, and then we'll be moving on from that as well, because the numbers haven't been particularly good on those either. And from next week, things are going to change in terms of what I put out, when I put it out, and what it's going to look like. I haven't got all of that sorted out yet, but basically, if you look around the channel, the likes of Omega Luke does his Wonder Kid videos, and he's being really successful this in Football Manager 21. You've got the likes of someone like Fox in the Box, who has increased his viewership many fold in the last few months by looking at various aspects of the game and deep diving into the stuff behind it all, which is really fascinating. Those two guys, if you're not on them, go and check them out. They're really great. You get somebody like FM Llama, who's been very successful in the last 8-9 months of the pandemic since he decided to start making Football Manager videos. Now he's making a success of it on sort of 2 fronts really. One, he's doing Let's Play series, of course he is, but he's so funny, he's so wacky and off the wall, and he's just unlike anybody else, and that's his niche within a niche. But he's also doing the deep dives into looking into various countries' football leagues and what their setups are and how they're working and what's all that kind of good stuff in a series that he's doing as well. So he's got another niche, and these are the things that I need to find. So there will be Let's Play stuff. There will be short term. We'll be going back to things like reputation rescues for half a season. We'll be doing relegation rescues, reputation rebuilds, which are a 3-season series of trying to take somebody that used to be a big team and put them back again in 3 seasons or less if we can, that sort of save. I'd like a couple more scenarios in that kind of 1 to 3 season series. If you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments below of some stuff you'd like to see. Alongside that though, I do want to put a couple of series on my channel on a weekly basis, or maybe slightly less than weekly, that are looking at the game rather than playing the game in a way. And the first one of those is coming next week, and it's called My FM21 Top 3. And it's going to be a weekly series once a week where we just spend 10 to 15 minutes looking at my own top 3 of an aspect of Football Manager. It could be elite strikers or formations or attributes for a left back, or assistant managers, all sorts of stuff. It could be any of those things, but it would just be my version of what my top 3 in those categories are, looking at Football Manager 21. And I hope it will be interesting. I hope it will give you a different perspective on certain aspects of the game, and it'll allow me to express a bit of what I think about the game in lots of different ways. So I've got a whole long list of things that I'm going to go through with those top 3s, but we're going to be doing this for a very long time. So if you've got anything that you'd like to see a top 3 in, then just let me know in the comments below, and I'll see if I can get to it at some point. So that's what's coming to my channel very soon, those 2 things, a couple of very short-term Let's Play series and an opportunity to do my FM21 top 3. If you've got another thought as to another series that you'd like to see somebody do that nobody's done in terms of looking at the game or playing with the game slightly differently, then let me know. Come and talk to me about it. You can find me on Twitter or in my Discord. Those links are in the description below to this video, so come and have a chat with me. Send me a DM in Twitter, or just put a comment below the video, whatever works for you, but come and talk to me about it. And at this moment, that's kind of as far as I've got. I've thought in the last few days about completely scrapping the channel and starting a new one with a different name and all sorts of things, but what I ultimately thought is that I do have 2,000 subscribers. However many of them may or may not be connecting with the product, there's still 2,000 there. It still potentially has the opportunity to draw more people to the channel. Once I get going in a new format that a few more people are watching, they'll see that there are subscribers there. Maybe that'll help them come along for the ride. So I don't really want to change the channel or change the name, particularly at this point, but I can rebrand it at any point if anybody really thinks it's ultimately necessary. So it's another thing I was thinking about. But anyway, I think I've probably rambled on too long, so I'm going to have to probably edit some of this out. But I hope it gives you an understanding as to where we've been and what the issues have been. The main issue has been a slightly saturated marketplace for new content creators doing some really great stuff, which has made it difficult to succeed just doing the Let's Play things. There is also the other thing that I didn't talk about that I probably should have, is that my recording opportunities have been a little bit more condensed recently. My wife's been working from home through the pandemic. We live in a open plan house, to be honest. That means that there's only one door that separates me and her from where she's doing work, and a lot of it's online meetings and other things. So I don't want to interrupt her doing her work. I can't really broadcast anything on video forms that I may pick up from her meetings in the background because of the sort of GDPR stuff of that. So there's lots of complications around that. So until she's able to get back to the office office, that's going to be the case anyway. So it just shrinks everything down that I can actually do in terms of my recording. So there's been lots of reasons why other people have been freed up by the pandemic to record, and maybe I haven't been quite as much. So got to change that a little bit in the future. The other thing that might change because of things returning to normal is that later this year I have absolutely every intention of doing some live streams, whether that's on YouTube or Twitch or whatever that looks like. Not totally sure yet, but one or the other will be happening later this year, and we'll eventually get to the point, I hope, where I'm streaming a couple of 2-3 times a week and I'm releasing videos 5 days a week, and we can properly treat this as a channel moving forward in kind of a full-time basis as much as I can. That's the intention anyway. So let me know what you think about all of these ramblings in the comments below. Sorry I kept you so long today, but it was important for me to get the message out there as to what I've been thinking, what I've been feeling about it all, and what I'm going to try and do about it. If you've got any bright ideas, I'm always willing to listen. If you're a content creator and you feel like you can connect with me in any way and help me out and figure out some niches within niches with me, then I'm all ears all the time. But thanks for joining me today. Thank you for all the support so far on the channel. I do not want to let this channel just wilt away. I want it to be something better than it currently is, and the intention is to work hard to do that. So hope you'll join me for the journey. That's going to basically do it today. So thank you for joining me. Next time you see me, it will be for a proper video of some form of FM content. So let's look forward to that together. So until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.